Tasheen, you've been featured in Forbes 30 under 30s list. How does that feel? Simran, the Indian market is quite volatile. So what would you recommend to women who want to start their professional journey?
Pranaya, you started a shapewear brand called Every just a year ago when you were 16. How are you planning on evolving with the market that's there?
Simran, you're working in both the beauty and fashion industries. But do you think both the industries are getting more and more intertwined by the day?
As in terms of the industries, they are very similar.
Welcome to yet another episode of Elevenses. Today we have with us two super gorgeous guests. They're also super successful and best friends. I want to welcome Tasheen and Simran Agarwal Tangri today. Thank you for being here, Simran and Tasheen. It's a pleasure to have both of you all today at Elevenses. And since today's episode's crux is female friendship, please give us an insight into how this friendship works, since you all are best friends as well.
So I know Sim for, I think now 14, 15 years. And what's amazing is that I felt like I've done life with her. I feel like we've gone through the best, the worst, and everything in between. And it's lovely to share that kind of history with her. And to see where we've reached professionally, personally, all of it, I think we're just proud of both of us and everything that we've achieved. So yeah, it's great to share that with someone. Yeah, like Tasheen said, we have literally been through every phase of life together the past 15 years. So we were in high school when we met.
That's so nice.
And now to see where we've come and we're doing this podcast together is just so exciting. It's like life full circle. Yeah, life comes full circle.
That's
so it's really
so
nice to go through life with your girlfriends.
Yeah, 100%.
I think, and have these achievements as well.
I think it's so comforting as well.
Yeah, it is. The importance of female friendship.
Yeah. Since you all are also in the same industry in terms of content creation, does that affect your personal or professional equation at all?
I would say not in a bad way, but in a good way, because obviously our niches are very different. But I feel like the really good thing about being in the same industry is that we can support each other. Like, for example, we can attend events together. We always have each other's company, you know, we're always supporting each other in that same kind of ecosystem. So if anything, it's a great thing.
It's actually so nice and refreshing to hear, because usually when we hear about female friendships, people speak about it in like a negative, stereotypical way. But it's so nice to see like true, nice female friendship.
Yeah, I just feel like with female friendships, I think it's a win-win situation, because I do believe that competition is healthy anyway. Yeah. And especially if you do it with your friends, why not? Yeah. I think everyone comes with a good spirit. And the world's too big, and everyone, like Sim said, has their own unique style, what they're good at, their strengths. I mean, everyone can be successful without touching on each other's toes. And honestly, me and Sim both know how hectic it is to like host events and shoot and do things. So I think we really support each other in that phase.
That's so nice.
Pranay, you're in school with my brother, and I've seen you all together. I know you have a bunch of girlfriends.
Yes.
What do you think about female friendships?
I think with my female friends at least, I think it's just so comforting and nice, and it's just like non-logical, so much love, so much support. I love it. I can call my female friends at 3 a.m. with the wildest ideas, and they're always going to be there for me, even when I have some questionable decisions to make. Especially then.
We all have had them.
Yeah. It's fine. Yeah, so I think female friendships are great. With male friends, it's more like they'll give you logic and all of that, which is great too if my best friends are males. But that's a different dynamic altogether. Coming back to female friendships, I think, yeah, it's just so nice to have like sisterhood, people there for you always, supporting you. I think it's great.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I feel like that female friendships are fun.
Yeah, amazing.
A small point, I actually went to an all-girls college. So I think, Wellesley in Boston. So it just came to me right now. So I was like, honestly, I think it shaped who I am today. Because I felt like when you entered a classroom with so many women, it gets a bit intimidating sometimes, especially if you like don't know them. But I think in the 4 years that I was there, I think we grew in logic, surprisingly. We grew in having the wildest dreams and making it successful. So I think that with females, you kind of get everything, like a bit of both, which is a thing. Yeah, and even if you do get a little bit of competition out of it, I think competition is necessary, because that's the only way you grow.
Yeah. Agreed, 100%. Tasheen, we've heard Taste Treat started with a hamper which went to Bollywood's very own Janveer Singh's house. What sparked this opulent idea? Please tell us.
Firstly, thank you, Pranaya, for having me.
It's my pleasure.
So what happened was, it was peak COVID. I was working at Ernst & Young as a consultant, and I was looking for a little bit magic in my life, I felt. And my best friend called me up and she said she wanted to send a gourmet hamper to Ranveer Singh for his birthday. And I kind of took this opportunity to see if I could do it. And honestly, I felt like I could. And I created like a mini escape in a box. And it was basically filled with Ranveer Singh's favorite things. And the feedback was insane. His sister called me, his mom called. It made me feel surreal. And I realized that there was a niche that probably hadn't been tapped into yet. And I think in COVID, people missed that shared experience. And I just realized that this was an idea of Taste to Treat, and that's how it was born. And yeah.
That's so nice. So you went from consulting straight to events. That's
Yeah,
so
I
cool.
think
Such a career shift.
the shift actually happened. So I was working at Wall Street in New York right after college, moved into Ernst & Young Consulting for 4 years. And I remember my last 6 months, I was like, Dad, I need to leave. I'm done. I feel like I've learned enough. I feel like I'm done working under someone. But I'm very grateful for that experience. I felt like it made me learn the culture of hustling, which I do feel like sometimes nowadays people don't have. Because I feel like sometimes when I have new staff, they probably leave in 4-5 days because they're like, we can't do all-nighters. We can't work 9 to 7, leave alone 9 to 11. So I'm very grateful for that experience. But I felt like I just wanted to start something on my own.
That's very nice.
I think, funnily enough, this swap happened within 48 hours.
It's so cool.
So from the call to I had 24 hours to send it to Ranveer Singh's house. So imagine the stress. And once I got the call, I went to my dad the night and I was like, Dad,
Yeah.
I found my space and this is it.
That's so nice. Simran, you're someone who's very creative, I know, and you had a makeup brand, Uninterrupted Beauty. But right now, the Indian market is quite volatile. So what would you recommend to women who want to start their professional journey? Would you recommend influencing, jobs, startups? What do you think?
Absolutely. I think the landscape today is extremely complex, saturated, volatile, yet full of so many possibilities. My suggestion would be, I know this is cliche and everybody says it, but find what you're passionate about and do that, because that's what will fuel your resilience and innovation every day. And you have to want to wake up in the morning and work. If you're not passionate about it, you're already losing 50%, you had to have that passion. And I feel like in today's digital age, building a personal brand more than anything else is the most important. And Tasheen, I'm sure you agree. Yeah. You can build a personal brand and you can sell anything. Today, there's a reason founder-led brands do so much better. Because your consumer connects with the founder, relates with the founder.
I fully agree, yeah.
And I feel like that's the most important. So these are a few things that I've learned on my journey is building a personal brand. And we have so many tools, today. We have Instagram, we have TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn. We have so many different digital tools that we can use to build our personal brands. That I would say networking, as much as you can. And this is something that really helped me as well.
Yeah.
Because you never know who you'll meet along the way.
Right.
And what opportunity they may present to you.
Yeah.
And also, I think just being, just experimenting is the most important because, like you said, the market today is volatile and I think saturated as well with everyone starting their businesses. So don't be afraid to experiment and do something unique and different because that's what will set you apart. So anything that you're passionate about, really, and you put your heart and soul into.
I think that's great advice. My mom also always tells me that, Pranaya, whatever you want to do, give it your 100% and be passionate about it, enjoy it. That's great advice.
Being passionate is fully key. And with both of us, I feel like the brand is also the founder. So today, like Taste to Treat is Tasheen, Interrupted is Simran. You can't have it either way, it's together now. So I feel like that's kind of our USP and our selling point.
Yeah.
That we're like a walking, talking ad.
That's
Literally.
Tasheen, you've been featured in Forbes 30 Under 30s list. How does that feel?
Wow. When I think about it, I take a pause because it honestly was a lot of hard work. And a lot of me was also like shocked in a happy way because I did apply, by the way, when I started Taste to Treat in the first year and didn't win. And I felt that kind of pushed me to do better. I knew that I wouldn't, but sometimes rejection kind of hurts, right? So when I finished college, I was very clear that if I start something, I just wanted to go all out and be recognized for it. That's just how it is with everybody in my family, with my sister and mom and my dad, who individually started their own businesses and are recognized. So when I started, it was like a dream that I wanted to go all in. And I still remember that call. I was at my best friend's house and I was like, I won.
Yeah.
And I felt like all the hard work I put in did work, because I felt like the growth from the first to the second year was large, because I felt like I learned, I adapted. There were risks I took, that I went international in 1 year in COVID. It's kind of unheard. I don't think I would have thought about it if I didn't get rejected. So I feel like I learned a lot in that. I felt like I adapted, like how Sim said. I feel like the world is changing. It's evolving every minute. Everything's about performance marketing. Everything's about how is your brand different. So something that I would definitely tell, young entrepreneurs, people who want to start their own businesses, is that you have to take that risk, and it's okay if you fall. I fell, and it's fine, but there's a time and place for everything, and I feel like you learn, adapt, because you have a unique style. Everyone has something that's true to themselves. So follow that passion. And even if you don't get the solutions or the recognition immediately, it's fine, because how will you learn otherwise? I feel like if you get things on a platter, get things a bit easily, you kind of take it for granted. If I didn't hustle in my corporate job and I just started something, I was like, yeah, okay, I didn't get up at 5 a.m. and go to work, or get a call when I was in the middle of a wedding, please finish your PDF right now and run and go home. I don't think I would have learned how well and good it is when you hustle and kind of get achieved for it. So I feel like that is kind of something that I definitely take away from everything.
So I recently saw this post on Instagram where Oprah Winfrey and Julia Roberts were in a conversation, and Julia Roberts pulled out this post where she was negatively spoken about and trolled about her aging, and she's gorgeous. So I mean, yeah. And she said that I'm a 50-year-old woman and I am confident, I know who I am, but the troll still got to me. So she's someone who has won a few Academy Awards, Golden Globes. She is the actress, but it still got to her. And both of your lives are so much in the public facing. So how do you all deal with the negativity and trolls, and how do you all keep your mental health good?
I think trolling can be hard for everybody when you put yourself out either creatively or professionally.
Unless you're Ori,
Who doesn't
spin
She's an exception.
in a marketing gimmick, and then just makes money out of it. So we could learn.
Yeah, I think honestly I'd be lying if I said it doesn't affect me, because I feel like that share button on Instagram, when you can see how many people have shared your post, gives me instant anxiety, because instead of thinking of the positive, or maybe they're sharing the post because they like what I'm wearing, I'm like, is there something wrong with what I'm wearing? Like,
Is the pic too edited?
Yeah, is it too edited?
Am I looking too thin?
Yeah. Am I looking unrealistically thin? Like, what are they talking about? So I think, it does affect me, at least. I'm speaking for myself. But I think it's important to remember the why, and kind of ground yourself, because I feel like I put out pictures of my clothes and my makeup to kind of inspire people, because I love fashion and I genuinely love putting clothes together.
As well.
Thank you so much. You're too kind. But I love putting like pieces together and putting it out there, and I want to build a community of like-minded people. So like remembering that that's why I'm putting it out, and just thinking of the positives over the negatives, I think is important. And we're all human at the end of the day. So I'm sure you know.
And honestly, like, I don't know, maybe this is what people tell me. They all believe I'm thick-skinned, because I'm always having a wall up. But I'm very similar to Sim, where even one comment will definitely affect me, and I'll not forget it. Like, it'll take me some time, and I'll remember that comment. It could be from any stranger, But the one thing that I at least tell myself is that how can you let a stranger ruin your day? Like at the end of the day, you have to think of who you are, what you're doing, what's your aim, what's your goal. And if that's what you're getting and that's what you're doing, that's something you have to keep reminding yourself. And just somehow make a joke of yourself then, or be positive about it and laugh it off. And you can laugh
I
at
think
it
just own it. Owning it is like the most important, because because I think with like fashion and like when you put up pictures of yourself dressed up, right? It is kind of like, at least for me, it's a form of self-expression. And so when people are trolling you on what like you think is your way of expressing yourself, it's a hard pill to swallow. But I feel like then just own it. Like, this is me. This is
and I'm putting it up because you think you look good, right? So I just feel like there's always a disconnect where, and I'm guilty of it, where I put things up and want appreciation. I want my friends to say, oh, you're looking so pretty. But we've all been guilty of over-editing. Or like, maybe sometimes the style could go wrong. Maybe. But if you like how you're looking, and, your mom, very importantly, likes how you're looking, then, then it's fine. Then everything else is just loud noise.
That's
Absolutely.
very nice. Simran, you're working in both the beauty and fashion industries. We got a power combo right there. But do you think both the industries are getting more and more intertwined by the day, or are they pretty much in their own lanes doing their own thing?
No, I definitely think the fashion and the beauty industry are very closely intertwined. And I think fashion and beauty in general are closely intertwined because they both play a huge role in how we feel about ourselves and how we portray ourselves as well. At least for me, like my mood impacts how I dress and how I do my makeup. Like if I wake up feeling chirpy in the morning, then I want to dress more colorful and I want to do my makeup more pretty. But sometimes I'm just feeling a little bit more edgy and I want to, I feel like it's like that for all of us. In terms of the industries, again, they are very similar and they go hand in hand in a lot of ways, but they are also distinct in their own ways. I feel like fashion is ever changing. We go through multiple trends each year. It's seasonal, but with makeup, of course, it is more stable. I feel like even though we have trends, they still last you at least a year.
Okay, we have like a favorite brands and like the way we want to like put our makeup. If you want to go to work, you're gonna have like a set routine of this is how I want to go.
And I think just like know what looks good on you in terms of makeup.
Exactly. Like trends come and go, but you still keep doing your makeup a certain way. So I feel like from a brand's perspective, it is a little more stable in that sense. With fashion, you have to keep coming up with you have to keep up with the trends, new looks, every season. But eventually, I feel like overall, you can't have fashion without beauty. You can't have beauty without fashion. Like, think of it in this way. If I was to go out fully dressed up with a bare face, or no makeup at all, it wouldn't be a look. If I was to do a full face of makeup and my hair and I was to go out in like shabby clothes or pajamas, it didn't be a look. And even, with fashion houses now launching beauty, in their lines, like beauty lines, everyone, I feel like every high fashion brand that you can think of now, including MS, has a beauty line. There's a reason for it, right?
Yeah.
At fashion shows everywhere, it's beauty and the clothes that go together. So I think they're definitely closely intertwined. And I feel like understanding both industries has really kind of helped me build a cohesive approach to it.
Side note, we did a look in pajamas and a full face. Okay? Every wedding after party that we've gone for, Strick has done a full makeup and then just come in pajamas. And I'm like, I'm going to go remove my lehenga.
No, but I think everybody looks up very iconic. Everyone shows up in like casual clothes with full face of makeup and hair.
See, that's also a thing.
That is also a thing. But the pajamas have to be cute. You can't you can't shop in shabby pajamas.
Yesterday I went in my futari, which is my favorite thing in the world. And I left the house and my mom was, excuse me, where are you going? I said, I'm going to my friend's house for dinner. Like this? So I said, it's a pajama party.
Pajamas will make them fashionable.
That's a
good brand. Pajamas will make them. We should find brands like that. It'll be our new look. Survivor a party.
I'll be the happiest. I'm the happiest in my like comfy clothes.
There's something about you.
Pranaya, so from what I can see, of course, you're a big fashionista. And you started a shapewear brand called Every just a year ago when you were 16. Still can't believe you're 17 and had this confidence. I just want to understand and kind of learn, obviously, from the Gen Z crowd, how are you planning on, evolving with the market that's there currently right now? And obviously, how are you incorporating a love for fashion on this entrepreneurial journey?
Okay, so as you rightly said, Every is a solution wear line with, it's inspired by my mom's mantra of touching lives. We aim to make a difference and just give people a little extra push they need and make them feel more confident. And I think Every is also all about just feeling confident and wearing your confidence. That's what the name is also about. It's for everyone. And so that's basically what Every is all about. We also, I feel, in India especially, people go to ridiculous lengths just to look a certain way when there are so many more realistic approaches to look a certain way. And I don't think looking a certain way is the end goal. It's just about the confidence. And Every has an Instagram page which tells you about how to live a healthy lifestyle. And Every is just a product to boost your confidence more than a shapewear. So that's why we call it a solution wear line. And as you rightly said, India is a developing market. And I think it's only one if we continue to meet people's needs. And I think in India, we're very low on awareness about realistic solutions. So I thought it's risky, but I think it's worth a shot if it can make a difference to people. And again, I feel fashion is more about comfort than shapewear. And our shapewears are like for every day. They're breathable, they're comfortable. And I think when you're comfortable, you look fashionable. And we're also launching a few more verticals under Every, which are something to do with fashion, but I can't speak about it right now. But yes, they're coming soon. Tasheen, you're navigating 2 careers at one time. You're running an event company and you're a lifestyle content creator. And being an influencer, I'm sure, demands your physical presence. Like you have to go to events and all of that. So how do you manage to compartmentalize between the two?
Honestly, just remember never to be stressed. Is what I tell myself every day when I wake up. It's a full balancing act. There's a joke in my family. It's like a work-life balance at this point. I miss hanging with my friends because I just feel like I'm so caught up with Tastery in the day and then attending events, obviously being a content creator, going for brands like a Tira or a Nykaa, Bulgari, etc., that I kind of miss having just a cup of coffee with them. Like I think the last time we must have done it would be like months ago, or like catching up at weddings. But I'm very happy about, of course, the way life has happened. When I'm, doing taste treated events, it's full-blown event mode, hair tied up, oily, running around, probably screaming at people. Sometimes my team will laugh when they hear this because I'm a Hitler when it comes to detailing and attention to detail. I will find the crack in the setup and kind of, find a solution to it. But when it comes to content creation, it's more fresh. It's more like I can do as I please. I can look the way I want to. And I kind of let loose because I have my own style. And I thank both my teams who've been tirelessly taking care of me for both because it does get hard. It does get stressful. But actually in the last maybe a year or so, I feel like both careers have found a way to kind of intertwine. So for example, when I do purchase a couple of items from Louis Vuitton for clients, I was also then taken to the Louis Vuitton show and then created content around it. So I feel like both the lives kind of worked there. I went there as a buyer, but obviously did content creation as well, which got me multiple other brands too. Or recently when Ladrak opened their store at Geo World Plaza, I was hosting the event and calling all my friends, but I also did the decor for that event. So, it kind of has the best of both worlds. And find an intertwining of both professions together. So, and those are the best parts because then I just have my teams together doing the same thing. We're all in one meeting, vis-a-vis me having to make 2 separate phone calls, 2 separate teams. So, yeah, I just feel like life as you evolve and as the months and the years pass, you kind of have a way of blending both together.
This can be intertwined, like
dogs. So for me, that's kind of my escape. Saying, well, no, she has multiple dogs too. But sometimes it's just nicer to hang with pets than we with. After a stressful day, you go home, you open the door, you have them there.
So happy to see. You have so much enough to give you. It's the best.
And they kind of know when you're upset. If I'm in my bed, just upset or crying, like they'll be there. I just feel like they're warm. So to me, that's my downtime, which I have to take. Or I tell myself I should take, and I do whenever I can.
Yeah, that's so nice. Simran, you're someone whose fashion sense is on point always.
Thank you for saying
that. I try. It's great. But what do you think is one timeless trend, something just really classic and you always enjoy wearing it?
So timeless trends, I feel like a few things come to mind.
Yes.
But most importantly, I would say for me, I think a well-tailored piece of clothing, whether it's a shirt or a jacket or a trench coat, a pair of trousers, I feel like those are staples you have to have in your cupboard. You can never go wrong, whether you have to wear it in the day and the night. I feel like that's just a timeless class. A well-tailored piece of clothing for sure. Secondly, I would say definitely a nice white shirt, like a crisp white shirt. You can style it up, you can style it down. These days, people are styling them with Indian outfits as well.
That's the only white shirt I own with this masaba skirt, lehenga, and a white shirt. I actually don't have a crisp white shirt besides that in my cupboard.
Yeah, one crisp white shirt is all you need. I think it's so versatile. You can style it.
So many things.
Exactly, so many things. And I know a lot of people would disagree with me on this, but lastly, I have to say shoulder pads. I feel like they're never going out of style. I love them. I have shoulder pads in all my clothes. I literally, all my clothes have shoulder pads. I really mean that.
I didn't notice this.
I love them. I feel like the structure, it's just nice and classic, and it makes you look put together. When you're wearing an outfit that has a pair of shoulder pads, whether it's a jacket or shirt, you just look put together. So in my opinion, these are the three things you absolutely cannot go wrong without. They're just timeless. You can have them for
They are classics for sure.
Yeah. You keep these in your closet for years and years, and it'll never go out of style.
Okay, so now as we come to the end of this episode, I have a fun few questions for the two of you all. Tasheen, starting with you, what do you think is the one thing, or a few things if you want to say, which make Taste Retreat stand out in the luxury event space?
I believe that, and this is obviously from personal experience, of course, my most important thing would be customization and personalization. I aim to make every event unique or customized to the client and make it about them and everything that they like. Even sometimes they don't, sometimes people come and say, we don't know what we love, but please do it. And then they're very happy with it. So I think that's my most important thing, that the customer should be happy and make it feel like it's about them. Something that I definitely also, it's like a non-negotiable for me, is quality. So it's not about having 50 events a month. I'm okay even taking 10 events a month, but making sure that, to the best of our and my team's ability, of course, the client is happy. And I think what works for me is that I also feel like I'm a consumer of the industry, of the space. From the family I come in, I've grown up, say, with hosting and having guests over all the time, or events. So I kind of understand what the client would want and kind of deliver that to the best of my ability.
That's great.
So that's something that, I feel like kind of...
Yeah, I think quality shows in the work at the end, so that's great.
Yeah.
Simran, I have a question for you now. Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
That's a little bit of a tough one to answer, but if I have to envision myself in the next 5 years, I think obviously in the beauty industry, since I have my brand uninterrupted, but definitely in fashion as well.
Yeah.
Because like we spoke about earlier, right? Like it's your passion is what fuels you. And I feel like ever since I was in school and I decided I want to do something of my own, fashion was always lingering in the back of my head. And I feel like at this point, I'm just like, I have to do something to do with fashion. So I do have a couple plans. It's too early to talk about them just yet. But that's what I enjoy the most,
That's really nice.
Putting clothes together, creating clothes that I would wear.
Yeah.
So hopefully something along those lines is where I see myself. Yes.
And what would be one makeup product which you think is underrated and would like to recommend to our viewers?
So there is this one product that I'm not going to gatekeep anymore, but I cannot leave my house without it. I am obsessed. I'm literally like, even when I go to my workout, I'll spritz it on my face before I leave.
Yeah.
It's by this brand called Iconic London. It's called the Prep Set Setting Spray.
Oh, yeah.
Once you start using it, you cannot stop. Like I will spray it on my body, on my neck, on my face, everywhere.
Why have you kept this from your friends who need it?
It's just the best. Even if you're not wearing any makeup, you just put on a little blush and spray that on your face. It looks like you've
Ordering this right off the vendor.
like you're glowing with it.
You'll have just become like different age groups. I knew her for 15 and she has not told me this. When she knows I need it.
It's the best because every time I put it on, everyone's like, oh my God, your skin's glowing. What have you done?
I told her this today. I was like, your skin is glowing. What have you done?
This is just a magical product and I feel like everyone needs to get their hands on it. It's called the Prep.
Everyone, please order it. Okay, so you all are best friends, of course. Please share with us a funny story which you all remember.
I feel like with Sim and I, there's just no filter. Like, we can go hours and hours talking about everything. There was this one time that it was me, her, and her husband, Carl, and we were just catching up on life as always. And we left, he went up, and me and Sim just sat in the car. We didn't even realize when the time went.
It was almost an hour and a half, and we were still in the car, just talking. I mean, we didn't realize how time flew, and I feel like that's a special part about female friendships is you can always pick up where you left off, right? No matter how long it's been.
Exactly.
I met one of my friends after like 6 months of lockdown, and we have sat in the morning at 11 o'clock, and we've finished our conversation at 11 p.m. at night. We had no idea where the time went.
Wouldn't be surprised because I think that's the beauty about having real friendships. Like, you don't have to always be best friends with someone. But when you have a real friendship, you can just say anything. Like, she's met my boy, she's laughed at my choices. I can't say much because I love a husband. But before...
You've seen me make some bad choices.
Carl should give me brownie points for this. Carl, I love you. And I feel like we've also been there through times that's been rough for both of us, professionally, personally, everything. And we've been like each other's biggest critique, but also a cheerleader. So
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that, I feel like it's just true to us and we can pick up wherever we left off, which is
And I think that's what's special about these kind of friendships, that they're just so candid. Like there's no formality. Like you just
You're just yourself.
come as you are, and it's always the same equation. I think that's what's.
and we also don't like the same people.
I think same point to bond.
Always makes it easier to bond.
100%. Lastly, my last question to y'all is, what would be one song which defines your friendship?
I would say cheerleader, like
We ought to be English. Like, I just know it.
because we're always supporting each other, we're each other's cheerleaders, So I feel like that's an appropriate song.
Yeah, and for me, I feel like friendship is defined when you're just having a low moment and someone's there for you. So there's a Hindi song, yes, I love Bollywood, which is like Musu Musu Hasi, like Muskurao. What's that song? Musu Musu Hasi. Like, and just, it's about smiling through the tough times. And there's been times where I've just been sad or she's been sad, and I feel like we've always uplifted each other. So I think that's important in female friendship.
Song choices are such poles apart.
Yeah. I knew how to be English. I had to be different.
Anyways, thank you so much, Simran, Tasheen, for being here today. I think I had an amazing time talking with you all.
Likewise,
Thank you so much for having us. I think this was so fun. And like
we got to catch up in this moment.
yeah, we had a great time. So thank you so much.
And good luck to you. And I hope that you have many, many more podcasts like this
Thank you so much.
and you become even more successful.
Thank you.